friends, welcome back to Gate Short Trick Series. This is Vinay Yadav back with another interesting video in Gate Short Trick Series. Today we are not going to see the trick, we are going to see the best way to understand the Fourier series properties. Why I have selected this topic? Because the further tricks that I'm going to show you in Fourier series is dependent on these topics. So it's always better to understand these properties first and then move to the tricks. Okay. So starting with the video, let me tell you that we are not going to use the trigonometric series in any of the gate sum. We are always going to use the exponential series to solve the Fourier series sums. Always. Okay. Why I'm telling this? Because if you see the equation of f of t in trigonometric series, you will get f of t equals to a0 plus summation n equals to 1 to infinity a n cos n omega naught t plus summation n runs from 1 to infinity b n sin n omega naught t. So here you can see there are three Fourier constant a0, an, bn, and these are the formula that you have to use for a0, an, and bn respectively. So in trigonometric series we have to find three coefficients, while if you see the exponential series formula where f of t is equals to c of n e raised to jn omega naught t, and cn formula is this. Okay, so if you see this carefully, here in f of t you have only one Fourier coefficient as compared to trigonometric series where you were having three Fourier coefficient. Okay, so it's always better to use the exponential series as compared to the trigonometric series wala formula. Okay, also if you see this exponential series is nothing but a compact version of trigonometric series. Okay, if I try to remind you some properties of trigonometric series, such as like if your f of t is even, then you say that your p of n will be 0, so no sign, no terms will be there. If your f of t is odd, so your bn will be there and a0 and an will be 0. So these are the properties that are applied in trigonometric series. Well, this is applicable also in exponential series. Okay, so let us see how we can relate that thing in exponential series as well. So here you can see in exponential series you have f of t is equal to c of n e raised to j n omega naught t, right? And the formula for c of n is 1 upon t naught integration of one period t naught f of t e raised to minus j n omega naught t. So note this thing here, in f of t you have plus j n omega naught t, in cn you have e raised to minus j n omega naught t, and this is for n not equals to 0. For n equals to 0 you have to use this c of 0, which will be 1 upon t0 integration of one period t0 f of t dt. Okay, if you want to see this c of n in terms of an and bn, so it will be c of n is equals to an minus jbn by 2, which is not for n equals to 0. Okay, for n equals to 0, your c0 is basically nothing but your a0. For f of t, the Fourier coefficient is c of n, and similarly for f of minus t, the Fourier coefficient will be c of minus n. If you see the difference between c of n and c of minus n, you will find that the difference between c of n and c of minus n is this sign e raised to minus jn. Here you have e raised to plus jn omega naught t dt. Okay, and in the relation between an, bn, cn, here in cn wala formula, cn is equals to an minus jbn by 2, and here you have c of minus n is equals to an plus jbn by 2, which is not for n equals to 0. Okay, so this was some of the basic things that you should know. Now let's move on to the properties that is much important. Okay, so let's move on to the properties of exponential Fourier series. The very first property of exponential Fourier series that you should remember is that when your f of t is real valued function, when your f of t is real value, okay, that time your f of t will be equals to f conjugate of t. Okay, and let me tell you, for f of t you have Fourier coefficient as c of n, and for f of conjugate of t your Fourier coefficient will be c of minus n का conjugate. And note this thing, here you don't have only c conjugate of n, here you have c of minus n का conjugate. So this is the only thing that you should remember, and the rest is cakewalk. So you know that if when your f of t is real value function, then your f of t will be equals to f of conjugate of t. So since this is there, so c of n will be equals to c of minus n ka conjugate. Okay, note this thing, when I'm saying f of t is real valued function, then I'm not saying that my c of n is also real value. Okay, I'm saying f of t is real values, then that time your f of t will be equals to f of conjugate of t, so their coefficient will be also equal. So f of t ka coefficient is c of n, f of conjugate of t ka coefficient is c of minus n ka conjugate. So when your f of t is real valued function, then your coefficient c of n will be equal to C of minus n ka conjugate. Okay, now let's move on and see for f of t when it is even function. Okay, only even function. I'm not mentioning anything about real value or complex value. So when your f of t is even function, you know that f of t even function ka criteria will be f of minus t should be equals to f of t. Okay, f of minus t ka Fourier coefficient is c of minus n, f of t ka coefficient is c of n. So when you say your f of t is even function, so your c of n will be equals to c of minus n, right? Now if I say f of t is real, now I'm saying is f of t is real and even function. So when I'm saying this, then I know that because of real, your C of n coefficient will be equals to C of minus n ka conjugate, right? But now since the f of t is also even, so this will also satisfy that C of n will be equal to C of minus n. So you can replace the C of minus n with C of n. So your in turn coefficient will be C of n is equals to C of n ka conjugate. So whenever you see that your f of t is real and even function, then you can say that your Fourier coefficient will be C of n is equals to C of n ka conjugate. Now if you try to elaborate this, your C of n is basically A of n minus j b of n by 2, right? Your C of n conjugate will be, you will just replace j with minus j. So your an plus jbn by 2, right? Your C of n conjugate will be an by 2 plus jbn by 2. Now to make these two equation equal, what should be done in this right hand side? In this right hand side, you can see an by 2 is same, but this minus jbn plus jbn by 2 is different. So you can say that to make C of n equals to C of n ka conjugate, this C of n should be an by 2. Basically there should be only an ka term, bn ka term will be 0. Okay, and this is what you see in your trigonometric Fourier series. Okay, in trigonometric Fourier series, when you say your f of t is even, when you say your f of t is even, so you directly say that your b of n will be 0. Okay, and you say that a of 0 may or may not be 0, a of n will be present. Okay, so this is what you are getting, that C of n is basically an by 2, so you will get only cosine ka term, right? If you see the formula of trigonometric Fourier series, you can see that A of n is written with cos and omega naught t, so it means that whenever an is there, so cosine term will be there. So what you can conclude is, whenever your f of t is real and even function, then your a0, basically a0 may or may not be 0, an will be finite, bn will be 0, and you can say that since b of n is equals to 0, so there will be no sinusoidal term, and there will be only cosine terms. Okay, cosine terms is related to an, sine term is related to bn. Okay, since bn is 0, so there will be no sine term, an is not 0, an is finite, so cosine term will be present. Okay, so this is what you get for f of t even function, right? Now let's see when your f of t is odd. When your f of t is odd, it means that f of minus t will be equals to minus f of t, right? F of minus t ka coefficient is C of minus n, minus f of t ka coefficient will be minus C of n, right? Now when I say f of t is real and odd, when I say your f of t is real and odd, so it means that f of t is equals to f of t ka conjugate. Since your f of t is real function, so cn will be equals to C of minus n ka conjugate, since your f of t is real. Now we also know that f of t is odd also. So since we know that C of n is equals to minus C of minus n from this, so we can replace this C of minus n with minus C of n. Okay, so we can say that C of n will be minus C of n ka conjugate. Okay, so whenever you get the function f of t as real and odd, so you will say that C of n will be equals to minus C of n ka conjugate. Okay, note this thing, in GATE you get directly 1 marks question about this property, so it is very important to understand this property as well. Okay, now to make these two coefficient equal, you know that C of n is basically an by 2 minus jbn by 2, right? And your C of n का conjugate is an by 2 plus jbn by 2, and minus, if you take minus here, so here it will be minus C of n का conjugate will be minus an by 2 minus j bn by 2, right? So now if you see these two equation, if we have to make this equation same, so that means that this term should be 0. Okay, so you will left with only bn term. Okay, and this is what you get in trigonometric Fourier series as well. Whenever you say that f of t is odd, then it means that bn will only present and a0 and an will be 0. Okay, here also it is the same thing, that whenever your function is real and odd, then you will say that your a0 will be 0, an will be 0, and bn will be finite. So since bn is finite, so only sinusoidal terms will be present and no cosine terms will be present. Okay, now if you see this c of n, cn is basically minus j bn by 2. If you see this carefully, it is purely imaginary. Okay, so if anyone asked you that what will be the nature of c of n when the function is real and odd, so then you can say that your nature of cn will be purely imaginary. And if the same thing is asked when your f of t is even function, so your cn will be an by 2. If you see this carefully, your cn is an by 2. It is real and it will be even. Why even? Because if you see this an ka formula, an is 2 by t naught with the integration up to t naught f of t cos and omega naught t dt. Okay, so your f of t is multiplied with cos and omega naught t, and we say that cos is even function, right? If you replace t with minus t, you won't get minus sign outside. Okay, so that's why your cn will be real and even. And while with this f of t, when it is odd and real, so that time you will have only a purely imaginary term. Okay, and here you have b of n. So if you see this b of n has sign wala term, and sign wala term is odd. Okay, if you replace t with minus t, you will get minus sign outside. Okay, so that time you will say that whenever your f of t is real and odd, then your c of n will be purely imaginary and odd. And when your f of t is real and even, then your c of n will be also real and even. Okay, so this was the two properties that is important, by which you can get the 1 mark sum directly. Okay, so you should understand the nature, you should understand how the sine harmonics and cosine harmonics are removed when the f of t is odd and even. Okay, now let's see the third property, which is shifting property. Shifting is very common. You should know in Fourier series and Fourier transform as well. When your f of t has a coefficient of c of n, f of t minus t naught will be c of n e raised to minus j n omega naught t naught. Okay, so when you have only f of t, then you will have Fourier coefficient as c of n. When your f of t is shifted by t naught, then your Fourier coefficient will be c of n e raised to minus j n omega naught t naught. Okay, so this minus t naught will get reflected here, minus and t naught. Okay, and similarly if you have f of t plus t naught, so here it will be c of n e raised to plus j n omega naught t naught. Okay, so this is your t naught and this is your plus sign. Okay, so this was shifting property. Now let's see fourth property, which is scaling property. You know that f of t has a Fourier coefficient as c of n. Okay, when your f of t is scaled by f of at, basically your f of t is scaled by a, so then what will happen with your c of n? Now there are two conditions. Your a can be greater than 0, your a can be less than 0. So let's see the first condition where your a is greater than 0. So at that time your c of n, your Fourier coefficient will remain same. C of n will remain same, but the only change will be with omega naught. Your omega naught will change to a omega naught. Okay, now if you see the equation of f of t is basically c of n e raised to j n omega naught t, right? Since your f of t is scaled by a and you know that c of n will remain same, so c of n will remain same, your just omega naught will change to a omega naught. Okay, so your new f of at will be c of n e raised to j n a omega naught t, right? So this is the change when you have a greater than 0. Now let's see for a less than 0. If for a less than 0, your c of n will change to c of minus n, right? And your omega naught will change to mod of a omega naught. Okay, your omega naught is circular frequency. Your circular frequency cannot be negative, so that's why you are using mod here in a less than 0. Okay, so when your a is minus 2, so your omega naught will be 2 omega naught. Okay, now let's see what will happen with f of t. Since you have f of t as c of n e raised to j n omega naught t, since c of n changed to c of minus n, so you will have c of minus n in place of c of n, and you will have mod of a omega naught in place of omega naught. Okay, so your f of a t will be in this time c of minus n e raised to j n mod of a omega naught t. Okay, so this was the scaling property. Now let's see the combination of scaling and shifting. So let's see the fifth property, where you have scaling and shifting both. For this I will use the example. Okay, let's say you have question as f of 2t plus 1, where you can see that your f of t is scaled by 2 as well as it is shifted by 1. So how to deal with this? The very first thing in my signal system tricks, that I always use the shifting first and then scaling. Okay, you can use the scaling first and then shifting, but that is complicated. You require two steps. Instead of that, you directly use shifting first and then scaling. Okay, so here what will happen, first I will do the shifting, so f of t plus 1. So here it will be, the change in coefficient will be c of n e raised to minus j n omega naught. T naught is 1 here, so it will be 1 here. So this is my new coefficient. Let me rename it as p of n. Okay, now we have to do one more thing, which is scaling. So now you will do scaling f of 2t plus 1. Okay, since your a is greater than 0 wala criteria, so your c of n will remain same. So basically your p of n will remain same, right? Because p of n is new coefficient right now. Okay, but the only difference will be that your omega naught will change to 2 omega naught, right? So your f of 2t plus 1 will be p of n e raised to j n omega naught t. Omega naught is 2 omega naught, right? So 2 omega naught t, right? Your p of n is c of n e raised to minus j n omega naught multiply by e raised to j n 2 omega naught t. So this is your new Fourier coefficient, and this is your new Fourier equation for f of 2t plus 1. Okay, so this is the way that you have to deal with scaling and shifting both. Okay, now let's see the differentiation property. Differentiation property, this is the last basic property, and in the later videos we will see the hidden half wave symmetry properties as well. Okay, so in differentiation property, you know that your f of t has a Fourier coefficient of c of n, right? When you are differentiating your f of t f of t with dt, then the change in your Fourier coefficient will be that you have to multiply j n omega naught every time when you are differentiating your f of t. Okay, so here it will be j n omega naught c of n. So this is your new Fourier coefficient when you are differentiating your f of t. Okay, now let us generalize this. Let's say you are differentiating your f of t for n times, so dn f of t by dt. Okay, so that time it will be j n omega naught n times, since you are differentiating f of t for n time, multiply by c of n. Okay, so this is a generalized formula when you are differentiating your f of t. Okay, this was the last basic property that you should know, and in later videos I will show you how to deal with half wave symmetry and hidden half wave symmetry as well. Okay, so now to conclude this video, we started with trigonometric series, and we said that we are not going to use the trigonometric series, we are going to use the exponential series. Why? Because you have only one coefficient in exponential series. Then we saw the exponential Fourier series formula of f of t, c of n. We saw what will happen with the c of n when you have f of minus t, what will happen with c of n when you have f of t ka conjugate. Okay, we saw that what will happen when your f of t is real value. We saw what will happen when your f of t is even, And then we saw what will happen with real and even, and we also saw the what will be the nature of c of n when your f of t is real and even. We also correlated the same with trigonometric Fourier series. We got to know that when your f of t is real and even, then your a0 may or may not be 0, or your a of n will be finite, your b of n will be 0. And since your a of n is finite, so it means you will have only cosine term, okay, and sine term will be 0. And similarly, we saw for f of t odd and real, and we also saw the nature, and then we concluded that your a0 an will be 0 and bn will be finite. Since bn is finite, so it means that your f of t will have only sinusoidal terms, okay. And then we saw the shifting property, where we saw that whenever you have a shift of minus to, the same thing should be reflected back in your e raised to j wala term, okay. Minus, if minus is there, your minus should come here. And then we saw the scaling, where we got to know the two condition for a greater than 0, for a less than 0, okay. And then we saw the shifting and scaling both, where we solved one example. And at the end, we saw the differentiation property, where if you are differentiating your function f of t, then you have to always multiply your Fourier coefficient with j and omega naught, okay. So this is it. Thank you guys.